Hello everybody, welcome. I would like to tell the story from when I was a kid, maybe around 12 years old. Back then, my family would often go to Belgium for the weekend or for holidays. And I was so crazy about airplanes, especially jet planes. So, what happened is in Ostende, there used to be an air show. And when I was going into the nature, and I saw the jets flying above. So I told my dad, I want to go to this air show. They're practicing. It's gonna happen next week. I really want to go. So crazy about jet planes. So in the end, my parents gave in and they took me to the air show. I was over the moon. I could talk to pilots. I could sit in jets. I saw all the jets I knew from books live for the first time. I was so overwhelmed. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Well, to that point. Look how beautiful. And then there was a program of all the airplanes which are about to perform aerobatics, and I think there was only 3 or 4 planes left on the list. And for some reason my parents were like, look, that's enough for today. We're going to go to the parking space. You can stay a bit longer, but then join us. They started making their way back to the parking space. And I was just standing there looking into the sky, and there was this last airplane doing acrobatics, doing loopings, doing rolls. And I was standing next to this F-16. I remember exactly the spot. And then suddenly I heard this inner voice. The inner voice said very clearly, go away. Go now. Again and again it said, go, 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 leave. So I literally followed that intuitively, and I ran behind my parents, who were almost at the car. And while I was walking to my parents, I still looked behind to observe this last airplane doing the rolls and spins and everything. And I was at the parking space, and I suddenly saw this airplane coming down, followed by a big crash, a big boom. Just black smoke was coming above the building. And guess what? It literally landed, it crashed exactly at the spot where I was standing. And I think around 9 people died, various injured. Apparently what happened is the pilot got a blackout or heart attack during a nosedive and lost control, and the plane just went down. You can still find information about that. I think if you type in Ostende, Belgium, airplane crash, I think it was a member of the Royal Jordanian aerobatic team. And that was the beginning of this inner voice, let's say, this really strong intuition. And later in life, many other things happened. That was not the last time I was saved. But I wanted to tell the story because maybe it explains a little bit how from then onwards I was just searching for more knowledge, more wisdom, more techniques in the area of intuition, and maybe developing psychic abilities and connecting more to your inner voice, that voice that saved my life that day back then. Yeah. So this channel will be about mysticism, and I think a large part of it will be evolving around Carlos Castaneda's work, because while there are many, many different traditions of mysticism, such as Sufism or yogic traditions and all of that, Carlos Castaneda documented in detail his time he was spending with Don Juan, the Yaqui shaman in Mexico, over years. And he did so from the inside. He didn't just report as an outside observer. He did so by being involved with the Nagual. And then later in my early 30s, I discovered Castaneda, and I knew that this was what I was looking for all my life. That content, those techniques. So I started a multi-year journey, doing all these kinds of different things. Recapitulation, stalking, dark room, dreaming, gazing, of course reading all the books, and there's still other books which are still on my list, such as from Tasha Abela and so on. But yeah, to make a long story short, I was able to expand my consciousness significantly in the last years and to really get deep on this. And it's still an ongoing journey. And I hope that on this channel I can talk a little bit about this journey, and I can show different types of content which normally people don't really come across. Anyways, I hope you will like it. There we go. Let's cross that bridge. All the best. Lots of love.